So we're on the Sony this morning. All right, we've got parrots flying overhead, which I just love. Little noisy squawking parrots just flying all over the place. I don't know what this life is. My heart is heavy today. I'm suffering loss again, partly brought on by the fact that I dropped my phone in the ocean. I feel really isolated. If I'm not at home, I can't get any texts or nobody can get in touch with me, so I have to wait for the phone store to open. Part of what I talked about last night on the footage that was lost on the phone was just my thoughts keep going to her, particularly after she's had surgery, because I've already been through it once with her, like a year ago. A year and a couple months. I know what she needs. I know what to expect. I know how she's going to react to things. I know how to do it, and I could do it better than I did it last year, but she doesn't want me to do it. And that sucks and that hurts, because I still care. Because when you care for someone the way I cared for her, you know, when you're in a relationship like ours, it doesn't just shut off. It doesn't just go away. Even despite pain, despite the things that have been done to me, I'm practiced at loving her. I'm practiced. You know, I spent years learning how to be really good for her, and I am. She just doesn't want it. Her wanting it or not doesn't stop me caring for her or not. And I know some people are like, you just need to shut her out, but I'm not designed like that. You don't build up all this momentum and caring and everything, then all of a sudden be like, nope, shut it off. Like, I can't just shut it off. I don't know how to just shut it off. I think it will wane with time, but it doesn't just shut off. Since I've set my iPad up to do messaging now, because my phone's in the ocean, what popped up was, a couple years ago when I had messaging set up on my iPad, and you can see conversations we had in like 2016. And it sucks because those conversations were good. One of them was when I was at like some meeting that was terrible and I was out of my mind, and she was like, just come home, I love you, I want to see you, I just want you around. Like, it wasn't a particularly special day. It was just an example of when she missed me and how she loved me and how she wanted me around. Just that little surge of a reminder of like, yeah, we had a good thing. We really, really liked each other. Here's the view I always had when getting in the elevator. I talk to these people who are like, I love being by myself, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't like being alone. I'm not practiced at being alone. I've been in a relationship for most of my adult life, pretty much since I was, wow, really? Yeah, since I was 18, I've been in relationships. Like, I don't know how to phrase it. I haven't had to live by myself, is how I was about to say it. I haven't had to live by myself. And I say that like that's a good thing. Except when you do have to live by yourself, as I do now, I am woefully unprepared for that. And I don't know who to take lessons from. I look at my students and I think about that. I think all these people are fine. They're not in relationships, or maybe they have boyfriends and girlfriends, but they live their lives and they have friends and they have fun and they do it without even the ability to have a relationship. Why am I struggling so hard? And maybe I'm just used to it, or maybe I've just tailored my life to it. I think maybe I'm going through this stage now where I'm feeling pretty undesirable, and I don't trust that anyone's gonna want me again. And I say that in all sincerity. What if I can't find another relationship? What if I don't do life as well by myself as I did with her? Maybe it's not about doing it well. Maybe it's about doing it like it will absolutely be a different life. And maybe it's about embracing what that is without ascribing good or bad labels. Like, it will just be a new life. And I can do that. It just comes back to the fight of I had no say in it. I'm doing all these things because I have to, not because I want to. And I guess if I have a sense of justice, I resent having to do that. I resent her for putting me in that position. I guess there's something to be said for reading the room. Just had breakfast. It was really good to see her. It was fun. What I'm talking about with reading the room, it was basically this. I was like, hey, if you need a ride to the airport, I'd be happy to take you. She was like, oh, I'm just gonna Uber. And I was sort of like, you don't have to pay for an Uber, I'll do it. And she's like, oh, no, it's okay. And then I was kind of like, I got nothing else going on. It was sort of like, hey, man, give me something to do. Give me some purpose. And I think I need to be mindful of that for people in the future too. Sometimes you can do something for somebody else just by giving them a sense of purpose, helping people feel like they've helped you or they've made your life better in some way. The driver to the airport is nothing, except it's also just a way that I can give back. It makes me feel like I'm doing something. Also, and this is bizarre, the Verizon store doesn't open until 11. How can a place of business like that not open until 11 a.m.? I can't be the only person in the world that dropped his phone in the ocean. God. Who dropped his phone in the ocean last night, can I? Now I look like a vlogger with a camera on a Joby. The height's better, the video looks better. The content is so much better, isn't it? Lonely guy talking about how sad he is. That's me. Hi, I'm Ken. I'm lonely and sad. Let me tell you about my woes. And hope maybe it helps somebody, because I don't know what else to do with myself. Let's check my messages. Nothing. I'm so cool, I have no messages. All right, well. So the airport is pretty much the worst place for me to go when my brain is trained to look for his car, because he drives a Prius. And just about at least every other car at the airport is a Prius because of Uber. So everywhere I go, left and right, it's like Prius, 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 Prius. I know it's not gonna be him. Let's go see about a phone. Let's see how much this is gonna cost. So that's all done. That wasn't the cheapest trip to the store, but so I owed $180 on the phone, but then adding the new one to my plan really only changed my monthly plan by about $4 a month. Not that much is different. All right, so I have a phone. God, the brain is tricky. You know what I want to tell you right now is I was doing so much better and now I'm set back. Now I'm hurting again. But I was hurting before, and we know because we can go back and look at videos from 2 weeks ago and see me hurting. It's the worst loss I've ever suffered. It's the most consistent pain. And because it's gone on for so long, I worry that I'm not gonna recover, that I'm not going to find me again, or that I'm just so beaten up, I'll be a different, more fragile version of me, or less capable, less willing, less daring, a lesser version of me. And that would be such a loss. I'm gonna set up my new phone because I feel weird without it. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, well, I'm pretty excited. I'm headed over to school because 2 of my all-time favorite students are coming in to visit. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't play favorites. No, each student is perfect. Nah, that's not true. These 2 guys are definitely some of my favorites. I miss them, and it's been a long time since I've seen them, so it'll be good to catch up a little bit. I'm thrilled. This promises to be hopefully the highlight of my day, and that's good. You gotta have a highlight every day. Here is something not fun. I have a whole wireless backup strategy for my computers. They're great. They back up every hour to my Drobo. It's good. Everything is secure. You know what I don't seem to flip and have is a backup of my iPhone. And I know I've backed, I'm so confused right now because I know I've backed up phones. I'm a little freaked out because it's so not like me. I don't know. I'm trying to embrace maybe a clean start is good. Maybe there's something symbolic to the ocean literally taking my phone. Like a force of nature and my own stupidity. Let's not totally blame the ocean. I'm an idiot. That coupled with the power of the ocean wiped it away. Wiped the slate clean. It's just like every text conversation, all the little things all the little nuance. And there were a couple things on my phone I was proud of, like at the end of my first year when my one student who now makes spear guns, if you go to Hot Rod Spear Guns, they're beautiful and I really want one. When he graduated and was headed off to, I want to say pararescue school, but that doesn't sound wrong. But I texted him the day he was leaving and he was like, oh, I can't believe you remember. And it was just kind of a little special moment. And I love that. I loved having that as my bottom. It was my oldest text and it was just this connection I had with Paul that felt special. And it's gone. But maybe that's okay. Maybe I don't believe this yet. I'm saying the words, but I don't believe it. Maybe I needed to wipe the slate and start fresh. It was really, really nice to see them. I think the highlight of the visit was, I have a locker room in my classroom. They went in to see if their lockers were still there, and I was like, who knows, maybe. And both of their lockers were still there, and both of them still had stuff in their lockers. So Michael found old sneakers and his dad's chisels and some old wood, and Matt found a table project he had done a lot of work on and hadn't finished, and some other stuff, and a cutting board, and it was just this sort of, it was like opening a time capsule 3 years later. It was, I don't know, it was kind of a riot. I loved it. We love wood. Oh, dude, my fucking wild shoes. Cutting board. Well, good afternoon. This is the first video I'm recording on the new phone. In case you don't know, I was shooting video of the dog last night at the beach, and I dropped the phone into the ocean. Just as a giant wave was pulling back out into the ocean, and it took my phone with it. Today hasn't been a great day because I can't find a backup for my phone. I've been through all my computers, and I'm sure I backed up, and I can't find one. I don't know what's going on, but basically what I have now is a naked phone. I had photos from the entirety of my relationship on my phone. From our drive out here, from my first year teaching, from my wedding, from every trip we've ever been on. And I have them backed up to my computer, but there was something really nice about having them on my phone and accessible, and at down moments I could just kind of like scroll back through my relationship, through my life. There's something horrifically poetic about this whole thing. The phone that was a record of my entire relationship got pulled out to sea. It's just gone. It is no more. I don't have that reference. And I keep remembering other things that were on there, like my running app that had 120 of my runs and all the half marathons I've done, and everything else logged in there is gone. Notes that I wrote, in the notes app, gone. So much stuff is lost. And I think that, coupled with just the sense of loss I feel today. And then I got on Facebook for the first time in a while just to look around, and for some reason Facebook lets me see lots of stuff in her new account. I think because we have so many friends in common. So I saw pictures and videos that she shot up in Oregon, and that would have been a nice trip to go on. It looked really good. But I could see his, the photos that he liked and the photos that he hearted and loved. I hate him. I really do. She was married. And I'm angry because I feel like I look older and more tired and more beaten down. And I think it's just from the stress of all of it. And I resent her for that, and I resent him for that. I hate feeling less good about myself because of other people. And that's exactly how I feel right now. I feel like I just lose on every front. When I was in love, I was youthful and happy and looked amazing, and now I just look beaten down every day. So angry about that they get this start into this happy new life. This asshole that got together with a married woman is just winning. He's sneaky, and I think he's tacky. Getting on Facebook was stupid. I need to stop that. I'm going to taco stand. I just don't feel happy. I don't feel good. I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like making excuses. I'm just kind of stewing, and I don't know what to do with this energy. These are those times when everything tells me you just need to sit with it. You need to be okay with your pain. And this is the part I don't get. To what end? What do I do with this? I don't know. I am not okay right now. How do I become okay? Do I just sit in this wave of anxiety and let it wash over me? Just let it hit and bob up and down and feel it, and then recover? I want to do something. I want to fix this problem, and that's what I don't get. Like, I'm a fixer. I'm not a sitter and mull it over person. So I've got this problem. I've got this anxiety, and I want to fix it. And depending on my mood, this is when I do different things. This is when, in the past, I would have reached out to her and said something like, "Fight for me. I'm fucking amazing," or I don't know. But I am worth it. I just feel alone today. I think having my whole phone wiped out sucks. It's all gone. My visual legacy of my relationship, the whole thing is gone. I feel very ungrounded. I still have the pictures, but it was the format in which it was presented. It was all there, and I've lost it because I'm stupid. And I can't blame anybody else for me being stupid. I'm a jackass. I dropped my phone in the ocean. So we have to bounce, right?